Hello and welcome to the ESL One Cologne offline European Qualifiers. It's a mouthful, but it's so good to be here and be ready to kick off. Thank you for your patience, guys at home, resolving as many technical faults as we could, get it all swept under the rug and ready to kick this weekend off with a bang. I talk of this weekend, 16 teams are here now. Just 4 will be able to secure a place in the major, kicking off in August. That's a whole lot of teams that are going to be going home with their tail between their legs. And of course, we've got the casting team ready to be bringing you that one later. But before we talk about any of that, we need to look at the groups. Starting with, of course, Group A. 8 of the teams there, and it's already pretty damn star-studded. Dignitas turning up as well as Property. PiTER going to be battling out as their first game. Kingwin here as well off the back of their incredible performance over at DreamHack. Looking to see how PiTER shape up against them. Flipside are here as well. Of course, it's not going to be too simple for them as they have lost their main player. And that final player, of course, it was Killerfish qualifying through that Meisterschaft. So really looking forward to seeing how that shapes up. And of course, on the other side of things on Group B, equal, if not more, of a stacked group. Hellraisers are there, LGB as well, Epiphany Bolt versus Bettle, Gamers 2 versus Titan, which will be that debut of Group B. That'll be kicking off tomorrow. We'll be covering Group A today, and Rocket and Kick as well, going to be in the studio tomorrow. So really looking forward to seeing how both of these groups shape up. And there's so many unanswered questions that we're going to be waiting to see as well. I mentioned LGB. How will they fare now that they're 2 men down? Rubino unable to attend this event due to illness, and so we're going to be seeing a stand-in in the form of Mystic. See how that shapes up for them already after a pretty lackluster performance in their qualifiers just to get here. Whole lot of qualifiers for them. Another question, Titan. How is Titan going to do? There's a whole roster switch, the whole French mix-up. How are they going to fare as well here in Cologne? And another question I have to ask, and it's going to be a tough one, is if Kingwin are on the rise. We said already that they have performed well over at DreamHack, and we're looking forward to seeing them perform, and that will be kicking off today as well. So, lots of exciting things going on here, and the first thing that you need to get excited about is the major. I've said already, 4 teams are going to be securing their place here, and if you want to get your butt over here in August, you can do go over to the website, which will be esl-one.com, and look into getting some tickets, and we hope to see you there at the major. I was at Katowice, that was my first major, and good God, was the atmosphere incredible. If you could be a part of that and you have the opportunity to do so, I sincerely recommend you do that. Other things you need to do is let us know how excited you are or which games you see shaping up which way over the course of the weekend, and you can do that over on Twitter at ESLCS using the hashtag ESL1, and we'll be hoping to see what you guys are feeling as this weekend develops. So it may very well be game time, and it's going to be a tough one. Property versus PiTER, and I can of course introduce your casting team that are going to be bringing you that game. It's going to be Pansy, it's going to be Jason. Take it away, guys.
Thank you so much, Alex, once again. Always on the money there with the intros. Gotta love the little Alex charm to begin the day off with. But we do have a great game to kick us off today at least. And of course, there's Group B to follow tomorrow. But what are your thoughts on the first game? PiTER up against Property. It's a bit of a hard one to call, I feel.
It is. So we have Property with 3 new members coming onto the team. And then we have PiTER finally coming back to another major qualifier. And for me, it's all the story of how they're going to do without these visa problems anymore.
True.
They had that happen last time. They had Ubik and Hoocher stand in for them. And they didn't really perform as well as they expected to, but they made a run for it, almost pushing Titan into a loss in the first game.
Everyone remembers watching those games, seeing who just standing up, screaming across the room. That guy,
his taunts with his dancing,
the dancing, right? So there's a lot to be seen about these guys. I think we might see the full potential of PiTER this time.
I hope we do. The downside for them is they don't have Waylander, and it's a
huge loss.
It is an enormous loss because this man was so instrumental in them pushing Titans so far. We saw him on Mirage as well, and a little bit later on in their games, and he had so many phenomenal shots. His aggressive play really helped solidify PiTER as a team. But we're gonna see how Derzerki is gonna do. It's a really hard name for me to say. Is gonna be doing to fill his shoes.
And then let's turn the coin and kind of look towards Property. What really highlights to you? Because they've had a lot of roster changes. A lot of player switches, but what are your thoughts on the kind of current iteration we're seeing here?
The downside is the roster swaps, right? We saw Devowalk, Schneider all go over, or actually leave the team. We saw Devowalk over to Luminosity North America, but changing your roster kind of right before a major. Yes, I know these 3 players did play with them in the qualifier, so they kind of deserve to be here, but it's going to change your whole mindset, what maps you want to go into, how you're going to actually go about each map in particular, what kind of strategy is going to execute, but they've had time. They've had time to prepare for this. They know they're up against PiTER, and I'm really hoping it's going to be an exciting game. That's why we chose this one, thinking it's going to be the closer of the 2.
Yeah, because I believe it's Dignitas on the other side.
And overgaming, yeah.
So in theory, on paper, that should be a little more one-sided. You'd assume Dignitas have been absolutely crisp so far.
Well, you think about in last qualifier, they didn't make it through. That's when Fetish was was leading the team. And
Flashbacks.
yeah, and they definitely want to get there this time.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people have been saying you've got to be careful with overgaming as well. They're a team that can cause upsets, and I think they're playing actually out in Dust too on that side of things.
Okay.
So quite a dangerous map to be playing, maybe not a mixed team, but a lesser known team. Everyone can perform to a degree on Dust.
Yeah, and well, the map we're going to be going to for this one, it's going to be Cash. I'm so happy to see this as well, just like we saw them up against Titan for PiTER. It's going to be an interesting map. We were talking about before, what maps do we expect to see, and you were saying it's more of like a puggy map. It's going to come down to how teams can hold these sites. You see teams like Virtus Pro go for those that one-man hold onto the B side and CT's side, leaving Neo there and Snacks on a quick rotate. I don't know exactly how PiTER are going to go about if they do start off on the CT side, but I remember one thing in particular, and this caught Titan off guard in the pistol round. They went for 2 people on the upper side of B, and they did a double nade straight into the main part of it, and they completely caught them out. They did so much damage to them, and they won off the back of that. I wonder if they have anything else tricky up their sleeve for this one.
Well, I know looking back at their games, especially on Cash for PiTER, or PiTER, should I say, excuse me, their T-side is quite unique. I believe back in the days, they actually put a molly first round on their pistols, which was a little unorthodox. That's on their A play generally. Their B play just still depends on the Tech 9s as per usual. But when they went A, they dropped the molly out towards quad, and off they go. So something I'm going to look towards if they start on that T side is if that's actually a play that they've then perfected over time, because that was, I think, about a month ago. So not sure if it's still in the repertoire for them, but it could be something to see again. And
you got to wonder how, the 2 men, we have JMQA coming in, and I think it's Spiker finally able to play. They were with the team in the original qualifier back in Katowice, but they couldn't attend because of visa issues. But now they're finally here. They're looking to prove themselves. Like, that's the real story.
Sure.
Waylander was doing that as well, trying to really show what he can do. And we're going to find out if these 2 men can really step up when the time counts.
Well, it's a huge factor here for PiTER. Now they have almost the full lineup. I think that's the best way we can say it. Of course, missing one of those big factors from before, but now they have a solid collective of players. They've been playing together in this sort of formation for quite a little bit of time now. They've been racking up some good results here and there, but not really had a crack at the bigger teams just yet.
Yeah. That's a really good point. And, one thing I really loved about seeing PiTER back then when the ESL qualifiers is that they were very calm. Like, I think it was FaceCrack who was starting to get really, pissed off. He was getting really frustrated. But his coach came out to him and told him, just calm down, we're still in this game, just don't worry about it. And they're able to really kind of stay mellow as a team when the pressure was on. And there's not going to be much more pressure than what they're going to have in their first game. This is going to be a tough game for both teams. And honestly, I couldn't tell you who I think is going to win. I think it's going to come down to a very, very close game.
Well, let's talk a bit about Property. We've had a good focus on what we believe PiTER could maybe bring to the plate here. Their, win conditions that they need to kind of fall into place, that calm attitude, a little bit of fire that can come out sometimes, and the right map pool, which I think they've got actually on Cash. I think they're okay on that. So let's kind of flip everything around again, and let's talk about Property for a second here, because really there's 2 big names that stand out to me, and I'm sure they do to you as well.
Yeah, Twist and Zen. I'm going to guess that's the names you're going for.
Yeah.
Again, long-time players in CSGO, long-time standing players throughout, very strong players individually as well. But the funny thing is about this roster, you look back at, past teams they've been in, and 4 of them have been in flip side together. Twist, Benj, Dumas, and Zend back in September of 2014 through December 2014. So it's not like they've never played with each other. And that might give them that edge coming into this, knowing that they had to kind of play with 3 new players.
Yeah, and I always find it hard to doubt someone like Twist or Zender when they come to these events. They do have that experience there. And this is one of the big factors. Of course, best of ones do allow for, if teams aren't, used to being quick to warm up, being used to being under the pressure instantly, they could crumble a little bit. Now, I'm not saying we're going to see this directly in this game, but Twist and Zender, you'd assume, will have a little bit more, I don't know, a bit of a reserve towards coming into this game.
Well, I know they're not lacking confidence. I know that 100%. I went to go talk to the team before we actually started today, and they were saying, yeah, Twist, he's our mad fragger. Like, they actually said that, and he was smiling, all confident. And the entire team knows this is the man to really look forward, and this is the man that's going to be able to bring this team through. Yeah. Then again, you got Kaboom coming in as the in-game leader for them. I even talked to the team. They said, when you talk about Benji, make sure to mention he's a ladies' man. So you got that going for him. Maybe a little extra confidence in that route.
Any girls in Cologne who...
never know.
You never know. All right. We're getting ready for this one. Property up against PiTER. These 2 teams going to have to battle this one out, and going forward, they're going to be on Cash, bearing in mind. So a map that both these 2 teams should be able to excel on. Not quite as heavily stratted as some of the others. So, knife round underway. I almost just want to see, for the sake of it, PiTER on that T side to see if they still run the same sort of strats.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we see, a good amount of rounds on both sides, not like kind of like a 16-5 kind of thing. I want to see both teams. It looks like PiTER will be able to pick up the knife round, and I'm assuming they're going to be staying, so they will be starting on that CT side, and, coming into this...
my hopes and dreams.
Well... Maybe you'll get to see it in the next half. But, you know, coming into this game, coming into this whole qualifier, you have Property with 5 wins straight, beating Lions, Space Soldiers in a best of 3, flip side even on Cash 16-7, Gamers 2 in a best of 3, 2-0 in them, even Lions 2-0. Where on PiTER's side, they have 2 wins in the last 5 games.
Yeah, but previously they have had some good times. You know, they've been able to take time to overtime, and they picked up PiTER, you know, a couple of times. LDLC White, you know, they're not major teams, but they're a team that does thrive within that sort of realm. So I believe we are live underway on the T-side, Team Property. CT side is going to be PiTER. And what do we see straight away?
Well, it looks like they will be going for the retake towards A. This is something we see happen so many times. JMQA going to be sitting with the kit over towards that B site. The side of Property have already pushed over towards A.
And there's no one for PiTER playing towards that A site. They're completely going for retakes here, it seems. They're going to give it up for free. We've got Spiker on kind of highway or short, if you want to call it that. Facecrack back by truck. They're kind of leaving the site completely open.
This is like become the new standard for Cash, especially on the A site. You don't want to go for the challenge. Go for the retake, where it's a little bit more easy. And the smoke has come in. PiTER just rattling off some shots, trying to connect with the pistols. But this is going to be a full take out of Property without a single person taking damage.
Yeah, and I think that plant's going to be coming in pretty fast and fairly uncontested, actually. No one going down just yet. There's those mollies coming to play. So that's what I'm talking about. Facecrack takes down Dumas, but Zender at least comes back in with 1, make it 2 for himself.
Oh, Waterfalls, he's trying to pick up this kill. He can't connect the shots. He's forced to go back towards Zori as the teammate finally coming in for short. Dursky, the last man alive, he will fall. And that's Property picking up the first round. A great kind of entry coming in with the Molotov nade combo, but it didn't really pay off in the end.
Nicely done already. You can see these guys getting pumped up very early on, but Property here looking at what they're going to purchase. Just SMGs, really. A lot of mollies as well coming out for Twist and Gabon, both going for that. To see what they can bring.
I like the little twist that they had on that strat too. Instead of sending all 5 men in towards A, they sent 1 towards middle. They had him kind of lurk in that position to go for that flank, to keep that pressure on so PiTER couldn't focus on that one direction towards the A site. And it looks like they're going to barrel in on towards this B site. Nersky and JMQA trying to hold on to this, but I don't know if they know this man's here.
Yeah, and bear in mind, 5.7s with armor, it certainly has a good bit of weight towards it. Ooh. We do have JMQA doing a little bit of early damage towards Benji, but Zender should be able to do some good work. Tell a lie, he gets picked up. This is a lot of damage coming in.
It says, look at Twist, 47 HP, Namas down at 8. Spiker in a perfect position to stop them from crossing back, but he can't connect the shots. He's been forced to back away. They are a sliver of HP across the team, and this very well could be pulled off. There's no kit in the hands of PiTER, so that's this one very careful.
This still hasn't crossed. That flash was perfect. At least Twist picks it up with a UMP, but still, Facecrack can do some serious work. He just needs to connect. The shots are not going to happen. Twist denies it. The UMP will pick up 2 in the end. I believe maybe even a 3rd to begin with. But the point being that was so close. PiTER every single round are getting pretty close.
They're doing a lot of damage economically as well, which is a definite step up for them. They're going to be forced back on the save. Just JMK going to be picking up a P250. But Property, you saw... I don't know. I mean, that wasn't as clean of a round as they expected. That wasn't that clean entering the site either. JMK had a nice entry to slow them down a little bit, but Twist with the AK going to be spotting out towards middle. Dezerky picking up a kill onto Benji. That was over towards B, I believe, but they're not going to be able to rescue that gun for now.
And for absolutely nothing received either. Only JMQA taking a touch of damage. That's a great little pickup for free.
You can see Property now. They're playing this one really slow. There's no point to throw away around. You should easily be able to pick up when you know PiTER has basically nothing. And Twist just taking his time, just trying to spot out all of his different angles. The rest of the team back towards B, but they have a minute to work with. It's not like they're in a hurry. So the A site could very well be taken. They're doing a swap up.
There's so much to work with as well. Utility-wise, they're still flush for it. They don't have to worry too much just yet. Bomb a little further away, and actually, the B-side players are starting to take a little wonder. The UMP has been picked up, so a little bit more damage on the CT side.
I'm surprised they didn't throw the gun away when they had control of that area.
Maybe not expected to push up, I'm not sure.
Well, he's able to get the gun, and nice kill coming out of Twist. Does open up on a Waterfalls, and they're starting to rotate back towards B.
Yeah, really nicely done. They actually forced so many of the CT players off that B side. Just JMQA is staying here. This could be massive. Can he pull it off? Dumas says no.
And then Kaboom as well, pushing A in the meantime, just to cause a little bit of distraction. Nersky picking up another kill. That's the second of the round. He will eventually fall. So again, doing some decent damage, but now it's Facecrack all alone. And with just a pistol to work with, he will fall. So that'll be a 3-0 lead for Property. A good start by them. And here we go. PiTER going into the first gun round. We've already seen some good signs out of them on pistols. And now with the M4s across the team, we could see some good things here.
Well, at least I'm hoping so. CT side, as you said, getting pretty much what they'd want to a degree. Maybe not the perfect setup for them, but good enough. And I'm kind of curious to see how they set up here. It looks like we've got Spiker and Waterfalls playing towards mid. GMQA over towards B with Durs. And FaceCrack soloing out on that A side with a little support from Spiker, of course.
Yeah, they're really stacking over towards the middle. They don't want to give up control of this area. You know, like I said, Spiker and Waterfall is going to be the two men there. JMK and Dursky going to be holding on towards B. But they've actually boosted this man in, and so he has a nice little flank on this, especially without breaking that vent in. And it's going to come down to FaceCrack. You know, he had only a smoke to work with. That's now completely out of his hands. He could be completely overrun if Property want to go for it. But they're taking the time, just trying to gather some information. Kaboom opens up on a Spiker, though. That was from Door.
And that's a really massive loss for the CT side. Now FaceCrack is completely isolated. Waterfalls can't really push up too far. He might be able to make it across, as Dumas doesn't quite spot him out there. So at least he'll pick up the mantle for Spiker. But the T side aren't really committing too much just yet, and they're still getting the picks done. And they're getting the utility away from the CT side.
Yeah, they're left to, what, 2 flashes apiece out of Waterfalls and JMQA. Oh, nice peek out of JM,
Diving.
but unfortunately not going to connect the shots, and that's going to be Waterfalls off towards short. It looks like the rotate going to be coming in towards A. I think they're just going to go for the 2-3 split, potentially.
Yeah, and it's going to be down to FaceCrack and Waterfalls to actually stop this if it comes in. I think Waterfalls has to turn attention now. FaceCrack's tucked in towards Quad. He gets a great bit of damage done towards Kaboom. He's down to 1 HP, but still it doesn't matter. Comes up kicking, takes down FaceCrack, and there's the A side completely under wraps. Bomb goes down in the last couple of seconds, though.
Yeah, this is going to have to save coming in for PiTER. They're going to have to maintain these guns if they can, but I don't think Property going to let them do this. Twist is going for the chase, gets the kill on Adursky, and the last man alive is going to be JMQA off to the left, and Twist not going to spot him out just now, but this man should be falling. He should be losing his gun, but not before he takes down one. You can see on the minimap, they're all flanking him, and he's going to lose this. There's just no way he should be able to maintain this gun at all.
No, not with Kaboom around the backside as well. And there we go. Dumas does find another member there. And it will be a very good round from Property, considering it was the best buy we've seen from PiTER thus far. That's exactly what they wanted to achieve there. So Property off to a very good start. Now, I thought this would be a little closer when it came to the gun round, but getting that pick straight on towards Spiker on highway short, it really opened things up, sadly, and it forced, obviously, Waterfalls to try and pick up the position there. But we are seeing that 3-man stack from PiTER out towards B, and Dumas might have just learned his lesson from being picked up a little early a couple of rounds ago.
But they've gotten full control of middle. They know that PiTER have given this one up, so they can push towards A if they do want to. So I'm going to be watching towards Z. Kaboom going to be leading the charge over towards A, just slowly peeking through. Nice shot onto Waterfalls. Let's get Property that man advantage. But again, it's just P250's picked up across the board for PiTER. These nades are going to do so much damage. Spike it on to 50 health. This is going to be almost a clean round, certainly. Dursky, the last man alive, over towards upper.
And they're just hunting him down. The bomb's still by T-side mid. But bearing in mind, they've been able to retain so much of their utility for the T-side as well. The money, the economy for these guys is going to be really building quite beautifully for Property. But PiTER now need to make the impact. We've got Waterfalls coming in with the AWP.
Yep.
He has to make an impression here.
He has to. And I just want to point out one thing before we do kick this round fully off, is that Property, even in the gun round, when they had the man advantage, they were being very cautious about how they attacked the A site. They went for the double peeks onto some people, not going for the cocky one-man kind of trade thing, so they can make sure to lock down those kills and get into the A site.
So now Spike has joined FaceCrack towards A. Both are pushing towards Squeaky, and look at this play. Spiker switching things up. Waterfalls finds Benji, and this is a very different start for PiTER. They've switched up the play. They've left Waterfalls soloing in mid pretty much, and now, I don't know if Property's aware of this.
I feel like this is what they did against Titan back in Katowice as well, just kind of that unhaltered aggression, changing things up very quickly in the next couple of rounds. And they're able to pick up quite a few against them. But again, the 2-man push, like you pointed out towards the door, got that first kill. Waterfalls locking down middle with the AWP as well, closing up another avenue for Property to attack. And they're on the 2-man advantage, and they're forcing Property to head towards B. There's already 2 men there waiting. And Waterfall's on that quick rotate from middle if he needs to. But look at that man off towards fence. It's going to be JMQA. Twist getting flashed in the man towards headshot. He's not connecting the shot. He's still missing quite a few. Yeah, he's biting exactly just that. JMK able to pick up one, and Twist still can't connect on Adursky. And that's going to be Dumas coming in from the back. He will pick up the kill onto him, but now he's all by himself up against 4. And this one certainly should finally be PiTER picking up that first round.
And that was so well played from the guy in headshot. Was that Durs who was sitting there?
That was JMQA. Oh, yeah, sorry, Dursky. Yeah.
That was so good. Just baiting just enough to keep the attention there, allowing the player to come back through those vents and do all that work. And they even kind of utilized the smoke perfectly. As soon as they saw those 2 smokes coming towards mid, like it's going to be that B split through vents, straight away smoke towards B, slowed them down. I think it was Twist who got held up there, so really good play. And this is so different, though. The way these rounds are playing out, we've got 3 now on A. Waterfalls is there, no one in mid.
This is really risky, too. I mean, they could have just gotten full middle control. I mean, it's working so far. If they can pick up these kills, then it almost certainly will be. But Benji's finally on the AWP. You can see him trying to watch, going getting really cheeky up towards main. But the 3-man push here. And PiTER prepared for it. They're just waiting. This is going to be a big mistake at a property. Waterfalls does open up to Benji. That's Opera versus Opera battle, and PiTER winning out on that trade.
But who's going to expect 3 players on this site as well? We've got FaceCrack coming in towards Kaboom, so they've shown at least a little bit of their hand now. So knowing Waterfalls is playing quad and FaceCrack is there, allowing Twist to push up mid, I think he's starting to read the game a little better, but where can they really go towards from this?
It looks like they're just trying to commit to it, try to pick up a couple of cheeky kills, and Zen does open up on a FaceCrack, so he gets 1 man down, gets the second as well on a Spiker. This has opened up this A site. Waterfalls is still here, playing very aggressive, very close with the AWP, and he's going to be taken out by Twist, who comes down from middle on the flank.
Every time they've gone control of that squeaky door, they've killed so many players off the back of it. My mind goes back to Spiker being picked up on short and opening up that A site. But now, 2v2, bomb planted for Zender. He's going around the world, but Dumas just needs to buy time here. Can he slow him down? Peeking up for the first, sitting on quad, will find it, but now Zender went the long way. He's got 2 flashes, but that's an obvious plant. He goes for the peek, JMQA denies him, and that should be a good defuse coming in for PiTER.
That was such a risky thing to do, like you're saying, putting 3 men over towards A. I think it's property they've been playing very standard the entire time. You know, spreading out people, trying to gather that information, but to go for a 3-man stack there after they shut them down towards B, maybe assuming that it was going to be property, you know, all right, well, we got shut down to B, let's work towards A this time, let's change things up. And a great read. It almost turned against them with Twist going for the flank, but they ended up pulling out ahead. It's now 2-5, and the momentum is built up for PiTER. We're going to see a buy yet again out of property. Twist on the AWP for the first time.
And now they're back to standard as well. Actually, no, tell a lie. Spike is going towards A, but he's still kind of in the same spot. I really like the way PiTER plays. They really just switch it up a feeling, it seems. I don't think there's much information gathered yet. I don't know if they could have read the T side just far because they're playing so passive. Twist is all the way back in T spawn almost. Benji just kind of keeping eyes on toward the push there, but doesn't find anything. And the T side now really having to work for this information.
And it was so freely given to them just in the past. And we think back to that first gun round, well, they all bought up M4s. They didn't have a lot of utility to work with, so that's why they were able to pull that kind of strategy off. Property, they're still just waiting. I think they want to go for 2 men over the top of Boost, try to catch out Waterfall, who's going to be there.
Yeah,
but he's giving up this angle. He's not even trying to pay attention to it for now.
Here we go. So FaceCrack gets pushed out of quad at least. But there's still 3 players here already for the CT side. But nice flashes to come in. Good nade as well to follow.
The 2 men are pushing short as well. This has caused a big distraction. And this is going to be Benji pick up the first kill on a Spiker. There's still 1 man left inside. It's going to be FaceCrack. But this is looking all good for
He's
property.
Pushed through the smoke. They don't know he's here. He's behind both of them. Oh my god, that could have been massive for him, but no. It was just a 1-for-1 exchange. Duz has been spotted out firmly in toward Connector, and that should be a nice clean pick up for property. A little bit back to front then when they actually made the play, but those 2 players coming through mid made all the difference.
It was that wall of smoke that was in the A site. Locking off car, locking off quad, or over towards MBK, just holding them back, forcing them all to look in that direction. The 2-man boost come over, pick him up from the backside. Benji with a great opening kill there, and property pick up another round the board. It's currently 6-2. Remember, this is only the first game of many to come today. And property are looking fantastic. Remember the roster who did actually drop out on 3 players, Schneider, Pop, and Devilwalk. And then the people who qualified originally with the team play it out. And so far, they're really stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, this should be a nice, simple pickup. At least Spiker this time goes for the deagle, but it makes very little odds. The P250's left. Maybe looking to catch off for Kaboom. Already holding the back as well. These guys aren't losing anything now. It looks like probably just want to be as clean as possible, and they get the perfect round almost. I think not a single point of damage was dealt towards property then.
I'm worried for PiTER, though. If we think about how their strategy's been working, think about the 2 rounds they won. Well, one of it, they went for a quick push towards door, picked up a kill. Yep. They got really aggressive.
Yeah,
the next
double
round,
stack towards Squeaky, yeah.
And the next round, they had 3 people stacked towards A. So they're only winning rounds that they're catching property off guard. And they're not really winning the one-on-one aim duels. If it comes down to just doing a standard kind of hold, property have been successful in it. And that worries me for PiTER. They need to change things up. They need to get a little bit more confident in their shots or just go flat out aggression, catch up property every time, and try to build up some rounds on the CT side. They're going to need way more than 2. I mean, obviously they're going to need way more than this, but they can't let too many more slip away for property.
No, definitely not, as FaceCrack is very much alone on the A side here, as Waterfalls, who'd normally play maybe Connect or even join him on A couple of times, is all the way over at B, just slowly pushing out. He does find Kabomb, so that's at least a little bit of information gathered, but still, the entire T side are over towards that A site.
And it's FaceCrack left alone on site too. And Quad, this is going to be really, he's going to be mollied out of this position as well. He has the backup coming, but here we go. It's going to be Property on the charge, and they're going to finally connect on the Mentor's truck. Not even pick up the kill though. Spiker picks up 2. This will be Property picking up the site and should potentially get this bomb down. But now with 2-on-3, not a lot of HP to work with. 18 and 12 for Benji and Zend. And Waterfall still has an AWP trained on them. Man up towards upper. Jay trying to spin through that smoke. Not going to connect, and the first was going to come through. Now the bomb hasn't even been planted. Zen, the last bit alive in a 1-on-3. He will fall. And PiTER finally secured another round on the board.
Yeah, a bit of a successful retake towards A that time. Before, the only times they've really won on the rounds, as you highlighted, were with that aggression to kind of supplement the play overall. Yeah. However, a nice successful retake, always going to help these guys out, always going to boost maybe a little bit of that confidence up a touch higher, but Waterfalls as well, finding the first, definitely helped out matters. But Twist this time actually going for the AWP. Haven't seen too much AWPing from Property just yet.
Yeah, we've seen Benji do it one round, Twist do another round as well. And Twist won't really do too much there, as we have Dumas and Benji picking up that kill to Waterfalls. That's AWP out of the hands of PiTER. And JMK being spotted and tagged down in vents. This is very rough for the team. Waterfalls, not necessarily the top fragger for the team, but he's been relatively solid. And with these almost 2 kills coming in for Property, this is looking good. But there we go. Finally, the response coming in. Kaboom does fall.
Yeah, that was just Durs pushing out a little bit by B, but they're taking over mid. This is the impressive part. They're starting to really work this out. Once Waterfalls is gone, Spiker's probably going to be playing either off the back of Highway or coming through Connected. Now JMQA, forced to keep this in mind, he has to leave B. Obviously, leaving it very vulnerable. Dumas starts to go for a little bit of a look, a little bit of a gander, as Durs will be soloing on this side.
Oh,
3 players pouring in. He can't hold them back, sadly. And look at this, the T side taking full control. Bomb going to be planted, and they can set up well here.
They need to save these guns.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming Property can be able to chase these down. They don't really have that great of economy. Kaboom at 6.6 thousand, so they can potentially throw at least 1 man at them. But looks like they're going to play this one safe, so they will be up 8-3. And they're going to maintain their 4 guns. And I'm thinking back to, you know, PiTER again. The last Katowice qualifier, I hate to keep going back to that, but you think about how they played that map out, and it was the Waylander show. He almost single-handedly locked down B every single time. And when they were able to chase onto him, he would pick up 1, 2, if maybe 3 kills constantly. And the way that PiTER are playing, like, they don't feel really confident in either side. It's like B's been penetrated and taken many times. A's been taken many times as well. They're going for the chase onto JMK.
It's a nice little angle from FaceCrack up there.
Able to maintain their guns, it looks like, and even pick up 1 for themselves. But they don't have that man that they can depend on to hold down a site individually. And Property, you know, constantly working different directions, not getting stuck in kind of a rut, going towards the same place every single time, has netted them now a 5-round lead.
And Zender looking very focused, but pretty calm, to be fair. These guys don't seem too worried at the moment. Obviously, being 8 rounds to the good is definitely going to aid that. But Twist comes straight out of the door, just takes down Waterfalls. And now let's see if this can be evened up further. Already a 1-for-1 exchange, kind of leaving it that middle ground. Waterfalls is being picked a hell of a lot of time now. Yeah,
he's had control. I think once he was able to win out on a duel. Other times he has been dropped or didn't really have the opportunity to pick up anyone. But they gave the op over to JMQA, so Waterfalls maybe not feeling that confident in it. Maybe it's because of the spawn at JMQA wanted to go for that early B pick, which it did net him a kill. So definitely one of the possibilities. But Property tied up at 4P, still have a lot of utility to work with. I think on the other side, and it's just FaceCrack. This grenade, the flash, and the grenade. So no smokes really left to go. And Twist is trying to work over towards A. He's not even being challenged.
Yeah, the T-side are getting a lot of control here, and this is the issue. Twist can just kind of overextend. He can be confident with this, and now Spiker and JMQA are the last man standing, or make it just JMQA as the T-side stretch their legs, and it's Twist at the helm with 3 that round, denying PiTER even a chance into their CT side.
You don't want this man confident. You
no,
do
you
not
definitely
want Twist
don't.
confident. Like, to push out middle by yourself.
He's been doing this so many times as well. His mid-control play on the T side has been pretty darn good.
In any normal game, like that would be something you would never really go for. But for him to pick up that many kills, even being flashed up and flanked by Dursky in middle, he still secures the kill onto him. He got the early kill in middle as well. We're seeing PiTER back on a save, so we're going to see at least a minimum of 10 rounds for Property. But they're looking like a fantastic team, and they've definitely been putting in the work. Considering coming into this, again, picking up with 3 new players. Well, we say new, but they have played in the roster before, back for Flipside in 2014. But they're looking like a phenomenal team. I don't think they're being challenged too much, though. I mean, the aggression that PiTER did pull off caught them off guard, but they seem to have caught on to that. And even if PiTER does go for the aggression, they're prepared for it.
Yeah, it's probably just playing an overall better game, in my opinion, at the moment. Their standard play outweighs PiTER's by quite some substantial margin. And Durs, the man who did pick up 2 of the USPS last time around, they're on that almost completely clean eco. And sadly not managed the same thing. But they are back on a little bit of a, not ideal buy, but they've got enough utility to work with here. They've got at least a smoke and a flash between Durs and Spiker there. They can work that one out between them. But nothing great. That's the thing. They've really not impressed, barring those few aggressive rounds. Now, they look like going back towards their standard play. So Facecrack kind of soloing towards the A side. Spiker a little closer towards Highway. And Waterfalls and connected, but look at this T-side confidence straight out mid.
Wow.
Stunning little connection from Dumas there. And that is what I'm talking about. Sheer aggression, sheer confidence. And the Swedish side are just starting to really become powerful. But back down to a 3-on-3. Benji's going to catch out Spiker trying to back away. And the A side is completely open. Now they know JMQA and Durs have been playing that B side. So these two should be fully aware of where they're coming from.
Thing is, there's no kit on the side of PiTER, so if the bomb gets planted, as long as Property can hold on, Twist in a perfect position, right? Behind forward, to spot the man towards card, picks him up, looks for the second, can't hit the no-scope, switches to the 5-7 and does rush him down. And that's going to be Property picking up another. And this isn't even, I feel like, Property using his strategies. This is just like, let's beat them in raw aim alone and raw challenging power and secure 11 rounds on the T side of cash. A 12-3 scoreline would be almost impossible. I would say practically impossible for PiTER to come back from.
Yeah, PiTER is starting to really, really struggle. This is the problem. 3 rounds is not enough at this point. Bearing in mind the weight of what can happen in just those pistols alone, and we are seeing a little bit more damage.
He didn't even look at Twist, like, that's how confident.
He's just going for it now. He could, no respect play almost, like just straight out peeking, taking over mid control. And Twist does this with an AWP, an AK, it doesn't matter. He's happy with this one. Now Durs, okay, he's got the Mag 7, but what is he going to achieve with this one? Great little smoke to allow him to see over the top, but Benji there finds JMQA. And I think Spiker knows this one's a bit of a lost cause by this point.
11-3, I mean, they need this round. It's going to be so difficult, though, with the FMS 5-7 and the Mag 7. And Dursky will fall, leaving up that B control. Spiker's still going to be here to defend with the FMS, but it's going to be a little bit too rough. And let's get this straight on into 1, but will quickly be turned on. So now it's all on Facecrack and a 1-on-3 with an AWP. And he's already been hurt. They know exactly where he is, but they're not even looking towards him. He gets an easy kill to Benji, switching over the AK, trying to rush down the guy on the bomb. Dumas is actually nowhere near to help out from this one. And Facecrack, if he can pick up this kill, it might be huge, but he can't. And boom, will secure Property at their 12th round of the first half. Lauren, I think, I think you pointed out perfectly. Property started off being respectful of PiTER, but once they got that control, they said, forget this, no respect play, let Twist do whatever he wants, pick up these kills. And when you play against a team who won't respect you or doesn't respect you, it's so hard to kind of counter-shot them, to be aggressive against them, because they just don't care. They're going to do whatever they want. And when you go up 12-3 like this, why not?
For me, it was just all Twist. Seeing him every time straight up challenging mid, whether it be over boost, whether it's just straight out through mid, just perfect play from him. And wow, actually hearing on the other side of things, this is what I'm talking about. Waterfalls plays this. This is their A play. Now he'll put that towards quad, and they'll just work off the back of it. Now they've done this so many times.
But it doesn't work in the current meta of Cash, right? Because if there's a man there, he's going to be back toward, he'd be back towards quad, or he'd be at truck now, going for the retake. And that's exactly what they're doing. They have the kit on Twist, they have a nade on him as well, and they're going to be able to take the site, yes, but can they defend it? Can they hold on to it?
We're going to find out very soon. 4 of these guys do have armor, so a little more than they used to work with, to be fair, so maybe adapting that, but they're going to have to play close on these sites, and the CT side lining up, looking to get back in. Twist does have a grenade, he does have the defuse kit as well, but Durs and JMQA find Benji and Dumas. Kaboom does come back with 1, leaving it at a 4v3, and actually the CT side are going down. This is not pretty at all. Spiker and Waterfalls doing great bits of work, and Zender gets picked up in the end by Spiker. And to be fair, the flaws are plenty. We're in that for the T side, but it doesn't matter. They played it out and they won the exchanges on the side.
All right, well, here we go. The first round for PiTER of many that they're going to need to claw their way back into this one. Going to be buying up the AKs. Property going to be responding with the 5.7s and the armor. As you can see, 15 and 5 for that man on top for Kaboom. In-game leader for Property, having a fantastic game so far.
And the one other thing, unless Property start doing the damage here, I want to point out is how much the T-side, or at least PiTER, depend on mollies in their previous game. Molotovs for them were almost key. So if they get down a little on money, they can't afford these kind of constant buys of them. That could be a real issue going forward. And maybe Property are aware of that. We'll have to find out. The 5.7 armor is nothing new, of course.
Look at this, JK though, down to 24 HP. He's got to be very careful. He's going to lose the gun. Kaboom's going to pick that one up, and Waterfalls a little bit to respond on towards 1. I think that was over towards main, but you need some clean rounds as PiTER. You don't want to give up too many guns, especially an AK, as Spiker down to 14 health. And Waterfall's going to be moving in towards the side. Dumas and Kaboom, maybe the two men defending, going to smoke off towards short Waterfalls. Move the flash in, and he's down again towards very low life. And this is going to be overrun. PiTER going to be able to secure the site, and Benji going for the flank. He won't be able to pick up anything. So PiTER securing another on the board. If you guys are wondering what all that screaming is, that's Overgaming up against Dignitas.
Yep.
And it sounds like Overgaming are doing pretty good against them.
Well, this is the thing that a lot of people are saying. I was actually speaking to YNK, one of the observers for the event, or yeah, one of the observers who's currently doing this game, I believe. And he was saying they can't underestimate Overgaming because Dignitas before have had their issues, and Overgaming are actually a team that can surprise, especially on the kind of puggier maps, and they've got Dust too, so they're like the king of all puggy maps.
Yep.
Could be dangerous. We'll have to find out a little bit of an update from that. I can see Flipside watching like, what the hell is going on?
Well, I can't update you since we do have a Eco run coming up property. 7-3 for Overgaming on CT side Dust 2.
What? CT side?
7-3. You have Mutt got 12 and 8. You have Lowy at 12 and 5.
Yeah, like Mitris was a player I'd always point out on the team just because I remember watching him back in the days with Fox and it was a beautiful combination. But still, back in this game, we're seeing PiTER at least getting the kills where they need to, keeping the rounds clean. Although Galil has slipped into the hands of Dumas, I don't think he can do much with it on 6 HP.
Yeah, not expecting anything. And he will maybe pick up 1 kill. No, not even that. Dursky does secure the kill. So 6-12. So PiTER on the run to get back into the game. But now we're going to go into our first buy round out of both teams. And property, I think they're going to be going for the op this time. But, you know, one thing we always should mention, and it's not as prevalent as in Europe, but LAN experience, right? I mean, that's always a big thing. When Deem and I were doing the Kuala Lumpur qualifiers, the Asian qualifiers, a lot of teams have never been to LAN before. And, you know, I mean, there's obviously a lot of nerves that goes into it, a lot of pressure on your shoulders, especially when you're running kind of maybe a new team. But PiTER's currently at 6 and 12. They're going very aggressive over towards B. Dumas with a nice assist on the twist. We're looking to hold on to this.
Yeah, CT side keeping things fairly in check until then. Does break through towards B, but will they expect Dumas here? Sitting just outside of that smoke, their players just steps away. He waits perfectly as they start to pounce through. JMQA will go down. Ooh, he almost got the spray down on the cross as well, and actually the T side is so low here.
Let's see, 40 HP on Dursky. Spiker at 22. And again, the Molotovs that you're pointing out, Waterfalls in a prime position to stop anyone from flanking, but the downside is no one's coming from that angle. So it's going down to Spiker towards Sunroom. Dursky on site trying to maintain this one. He's going to be run from a couple different directions. Waterfall's now rotating to help out. The smoke's going to be giving him a lot of cover, but he will fall to Zen. Now it's all on Spiker over towards Checkers. Molotov going to be coming in, but actually, no, he didn't even get thrown. And that's going to be Property picking up another round, 13-6, the first round on the CT side, and their first gun round as well. Yeah,
they looked a lot more comfortable on those gun rounds. Handling that B play pretty well. I love the position just outside the smoke from Dumas. Didn't get as much done as I expected to. There was like 2 or 3 players in there, but of course, without the X-ray, you can see how little he can see there, how much of his vision is actually completely averted. But let's look at this round. And once again, this is what I was talking about with the mollies. 4 of them picked up almost every single time it's available for the T-side. They depend on this a hell of a lot in their plays, and they have done for months. But Waterfall's missing that first shot. Not what I'm used to seeing from him.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I wonder if he's feeling the pressure. But they definitely need him to step up, especially the AWP, and it's going to be JMK challenging out on towards Kaboom. And he will be able to back away with not too much damage done to him. So PiTER going for a 2-1-2 kind of hold. Twist actually boosts up in vents currently. Dursky trying to cause a distraction again, trying to gather some information. I like this kind of hold though. They have 2 men there to lock down that position. Once Dursky does back away, Twist can just pop out and help out. And PiTER, they're looking for... Well, with still a lot of utility to work with, they still could hit anywhere. I think they're going to go for the cross smokes in the middle and hit towards B with a split. But it comes down to Waterfalls if maybe can get a nice little pick somewhere.
At the moment, does at least take down Twist. So that's 1 player toward B down. So that could encourage it. But actually, look at this. The CT side are all kind of folding back towards B, towards mid, while slowly the T side of PiTER are all edging towards A. JMQA, Waterfalls out by main, Spiker over by Squeaky. And actually, this is a really nice play from PiTER. The smoke's going to come down to kind of avert the gaze of anyone on the truck, but Benji still holding strong, at least finds one in mid, but the 4 players for the T side are in towards the bomb site.
Gaboom is going to catch him coming through. He does get the man onto MBK, but Spiker does secure the kill back onto him. And now Benji trying to charge through. Spiker does Not do much more than this. Is Benji going to lock down Waterfalls, and Zen trying to push him with the help of Benji. It's going to be a 3-on-3, and the HP is so low for PiTER. 6 HP on Dersky, Spiker on 21, and this is not the prime position to hold from the bomb. Hasn't planted, it is ticking away. Dersky needs to pick up these kills, but he's going to be rushed down, and he will fall. And Property going to pull off the retake, and I wanted to say something that, yes, PiTER did have the man advantage. The downside was they had 2 people on 40 or less HP. So when it came to the retake, they were not going to be too helpful unless they could pick up that quick kill.
Also, when Benji can open the round almost and then get, what, 4 more kills, it's always going to help out as well when one player can do that sort of individual play. But very surprised once again at Waterfalls not having the biggest game. Somewhat of a player I was going to keep my eye on here, but just not seeming to make...
Him and Facecrack were like the 2 that I had my eye out for.
Yeah.
They're really playing not like they normally would, let's just say. A little bit subpar.
A little surprised, but look at this CT side going very aggressive out of A main. And looking to pick up a little bit of damage. Nice work from Spiker, but doesn't do a great deal. The nade towards Waterfalls almost equals that out.
Let's see, PiTER, again, back towards the standard kind of play. Trying to keep that man towards Zora and Dersky over towards Sunroom just to, again, look for any aggression out of Property. But the thing is, Property are playing the game that PiTER couldn't do. They're playing very standard on the CT side. They're not getting really aggressive. And they're showing improvement that they can just win out these flat battles and these flat retakes. So they're forcing PiTER to really step up. And here we go. They're going to get some control of middle with the wall of smokes coming through. Twist won't be there to challenge out as he is going to back away.
Oh, this is good. Twist and Zenda all going towards A. They've got the double smokes towards B. Dumas and Benji are going to have to hold this.
Oh, Dumas, though, is he going to be checked? You can see Facecrack and Vent just looking in this direction. He's got a time spot perfect. He's going to come around the corner, and that's going to be him. Pick up the kill. He should not have gotten that. Waterfall's able to respond, but will they expect Benji on site? They're going to be coming around from the side. Waterfall's looking in this direction, and this is going to be Benji picking up the kill. That should not happen. He's looking for the second. That will be Dersky finally responding, and Spiker playing this one slow on the lurk.
Yeah, Spiker, luckily enough, the CT side didn't go over-aggressive almost and try to get that pick on towards the bomb carrier, who I think Twist just got a glimpse of watching the side, but does. Taken in the unorthodox peeking angle, taking down Twist, bring it back to a 2v2. Bomb down. Kabom and Zenda have to find Spiker and Durs. Now Kabom has got a glimpse there. Does take down Spiker. Now it's just on Durs. Already 2 kills. Gets the tag on the first. There's no more to be found than that. And the defuse will once again come in for the CT side.
I really want to point out Dersky. That was a phenomenal play out of him. Like, he had the time to bait them out. He had 20-something seconds left. Why not go for the peak, try to equalize things a little bit by killing Twist? But unfortunately, even with the bomb down, they couldn't maintain the hold, and they're completely overrun. 15-16 onto match point for Property. And PiTER, I'm a little bit worse for wear. Sitting on a couple of Galils, even a couple of AKs, not much utility to work with. If they're going to win this round, well, let's just say it's going to be very difficult for them to pull this off.
Yeah, really, really tough round for them coming in. Their T-side has been a little lackluster. Picking up a couple of rounds maybe, but just not enough to make the impact it seems. But Dumas already pushing up quite close. This could be beautiful. They don't check it either. Dumas in the perfect spot. He can't follow up with the second, but already Benji is there, flashing just to get the close spot by the smoke. So Facecrack actually finds it in the CT side. Yeah, CT side are holding this one together.
Zend trying to hold it from upper though. It's 4 men alive out of PiTER. Man going for the flank in through, actually Twist coming around the backside. Kaboom going for the flank
Zend
through
again.
Vents. The bomb has been planted. We haven't really seen PiTER be too successful in the after-plant situations. They did win that pistol round, which was huge. But here we go. On the retake yet again, they still have a lot of utility to work with. You look on the side of PiTER, they have the Molotov and the flash out of face. And Twist slowly working his way through the backside with 8 AP. He's going to flash himself through the checkers. And JMK, if he can get this kill on a Twist, it might be enough to lock them down. But he looks away at the wrong time. I think he just barely spotted him out. He's not able to win the challenge.
Oh, time is of the essence, though. Facecrack and Durs just need to buy a little bit of time here. Durs finds Twist, and the clock is ticking. Facecrack just needs to play this smart. Stop the defuse now. He goes in with the clock, but he just gets turned, but the time is up. And Facecrack just about saving the day.
Oh, we did say if they're going to win, it was going to be very tough and very difficult, and it showed right there, barely pulling that one through. 15-7, PiTER. They're not done just yet. They don't want to give up this first game of the day. And it's going to be Property. Playing this one smart, back on the save. A couple of Deagles picked up. Actually, 4 Deagles picked up.
Well, I guess, Devil Walk joining Luminosity. Maybe he's sending back some secrets about the Deagle plays. Who knows?
Well, yesterday, Luminosity weren't doing too well at...
Yeah,
yeah.
There we go. Kabum already finding JMQA. These Deagles are coming back in. And this was the thing, actually. It was Pitt I was talking to about this, and he just loves the way you can almost use it like an AWP in a way. You take the shot, you can back up, you take the shot, back up, Twist, finds Durs. It's a 5v3. This could still work out. And look at this. Peek out and just kind of constantly go for these cheeky little peeks. And it's working okay until Waterfalls finally puts a little bit of a stop to the fun. but it's still a 3-on-3, and actually they're on the right sides as Twist will find Waterfalls. 2 left standing, Spiker and Face Crack. They just have to save Face here.
Oh my gosh, Spiker's gonna go down as well. The bomb is now out of his hands. Face Crack, the last one alive in a 1-on-3 to win this first game, or to keep PiTER alive in this first game. He's probably looking for that first one. He can't connect the shots on the man towards short. Does know there's a man off towards truck though, but 45 seconds to go on the clock. He's gonna have to make the move. He's gonna have to charge through. Nice smoke does come in. He's gonna go for the challenge. He will pick up the first kill. Does he expect the second? No, he won't. And Benji will get property their first victory here today. And to get themselves a match into the winner's bracket against the winner of Dignitas and Overgaming.
Yeah, and who knows how that one's going down. Moment Overgaming, we've got a little bit quieter. So maybe Dignitas have kicked it up a gear. But between these two, we saw Property looking strong from the very start. A team that looks competent, confident, and has the right players playing well.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it was a risky move by them to come into this saying, all right, I'm sorry, you know, Puff, Schneider, and Devilwalk, we want to play the 3 people that played with us when we qualified. It was a risky move to do that when you had so much experience on those 3 players.
I agree.
And those 3 players came in big. They came in huge. They had a lot to prove, a lot of weight on their shoulders, and they looked like a formidable team.
So let's look at the other side of things then for PiTER. As you can see in the background there, the Property boys just handshakes aplenty. What seemed to be missing for you? Because you saw these guys, obviously in a different format, in a different lineup to a degree, but you saw the best of them. You saw the highest part of what they could achieve there. What's the difference?
I feel like it was the Waylander effect. Like, this man could just completely pump up their team. Again, he can lock down a site himself. He was so aggressive, and when he was playing, like when he get hyped up, the rest of the team would join that. I wonder if Hoocher really also provided that extra little bit of momentum to the team because of his dancing, because of mocking the other team. I don't know. I mean, they've been together as a team, this 4, for such a long time, but you have to know, coming into this, you know, major, losing your best player, I mean, by far best player. I can tell you his like stats from that as well. He was eighth highest rated player at the offline qualifier in Katowice. But players like Alu and Markelov had a 1.23 rating, and the next closest on his team was at 0.91 for Face Crack. Like, this man really stepped up, and you know, I don't want to put it all, I mean, because it's not all on him. Dursky,
no,
he didn't really fill his shoes, but he was top fragging. He was doing his job. He was picking up kills, but it just seemed like they couldn't go for like the crazy holds that they wanted to. Again, the standard CT side did not work out for them. The aggressive plays did, but once Property caught on to that, once they played super standard and super passive, they had nothing left.
Yeah, pretty much 1-to-1, these two teams had a bit of a difference there. As you said, the aggressive play, you know, occasionally really did catch off Property coming out from PiTER, but when it came down to the kind of, you know, very standardized rounds, just wasn't quite there, sadly. And the individual skill that was shown by Property certainly looks pretty impressive. So we'll have to see how they continue forward in this tournament here, but still, let's find out from the man themselves over with D-Man.
Thank you very much, Lauren and Jason. So, I'm joined by Kaboom from Property. First off, congratulations. You made it look easy at the end of the day. But let's talk about your preparations coming into this tournament to begin with, because obviously everybody's aware of the big sweeping changes, yourself being part of them. How has the preparations been going? Because it was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago it all happened?
Yeah, we have been practicing for like a week tops, and the team changes was a misunderstanding, I guess, because Schneider had a scheduled vacation, and Pauf and Devilwalk also went on a vacation because of Schneider's vacation. So they brought in us to play the qualifier, and the rules are you have to be at least 3 persons that qualified here at the tournament, so they didn't want to leave anyone out. So they said, we just play with the ones that qualified. And it got a bit of a misunderstanding there. So they thought they were kicked, but they really weren't. So it got a little messy. But now we're like a team, but yeah.
And I just want to confirm to everybody in Twitch chat, it means an actual holiday, not a vacation, as seems to have become a term. But okay, so obviously you've had, 2 weeks to prepare for this one. How has the team been pulling together, obviously coming over to Cologne? Obviously preparing for PiTER coming into this one seems to have worked well. And let's talk about Cash as well.
Yeah, we checked some demos on PiTER. We felt pretty confident against them because we have a good track record against them. So we just played our game. We caught some games yesterday and looked at how they played. We thought it was going to go down on Cash because their good maps are Mirage and Cash. So the veto went our way, I think. They got kind of surprised that we removed Mirage at the beginning. But we knew it was going to be cash, so we had a pretty good idea of how they're going to play, so it went our way.
Obviously, his T side started off fantastic for you guys, went 12-3. Is that something the teams are working on, especially getting a strong T side going, or is CT also in the bag when we haven't even seen it yet?
I don't know. Our T side just click. We have played online, and our T side has went really good, and we haven't done anything special. We just play, give info, play on each other's skill, basically. So.
Yeah, because we saw a lot of nice set plays. I obviously want to talk about the last Eagle round as well, because this is something that's been creeping into CSGO over the last probably 2 months or so. Is this something you guys feel? Obviously, we've seen PiT and Luminosity. You guys feel the Deagles are a legit tactic now, pulling out? Everybody pulls them out?
I don't know, really. I think Twist is really good with Deagle, but I'm not good. I just said, I'm going to try to one-shot him in A main, and I just did it, so... We haven't really practiced any Deagle, but it's a good weapon. 1 shot, 1 kill, so...
Okay, Dignitas overgaming is still going on just over your shoulder right now. Who would you prefer out of theirs? I'm guessing not Dignitas.
Yeah, I think we would prefer to play overgaming. We don't have such a good track record against Dignitas, but I haven't played with the property guys when they have faced them. So I might be the difference maker there, but I don't know. But we want to face Dignitas as well. It would be a fun match. I think it's going to be a really good match if we face off.
All right, fantastic stuff. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, and best of luck with the rest of the tournament. And that's it. We're going to go to a quick break, and next up, of course, will be Kinguin, going to be facing off against PiTER.